Okay, children, good morning. You are ready for today's class? I think so. We have completed the gases in our breath in our previous class, isn't it? Now we'll recall the last topic, and again we'll continue about the respiration in different organisms. Okay, children, are you ready? Okay, let's start. Gases in our breath. So for every 1000 ml, how much air we are inhaling and what are the different gases that we are inhaling and exhaling. See the table here, children. The oxygen in the inhaled air is about 210 ml for every 1000 ml and exhaled oxygen is 165 ml. And the difference you can find out from the inhaled and exhaled air. Okay. So the carbon dioxide, inhaled carbon dioxide is about 0.4 ml and 40 ml is being exhaled out. And nitrogen and other gases. So the percentage of nitrogen and other gases that is inhaled is 790 ml and 795 ml is being exhaled out. So from this you can understand that the percentage of nitrogen and other gases is more in inhaled and exhaled air of our human beings. Is it clear, children? So apart from oxygen and carbon dioxide, oxygen that is taken in and carbon dioxide that is released out, there are also other gases that are also being inhaled by human beings that you have to note it down. Okay, so not only the oxygen is inhaled, along with the oxygen you are also inhaling the other gases also, like nitrogen, hydrogen, neon, krypton, learner gases, everything. So many gases that are present in the atmosphere that you have been inhaling in and again exhaling out. Is it clear, children? So this is about the inhalation and exhalation process where the respiration takes place. The respiration is a process where the energy is released by oxidation of food. Okay, the breathing is only the first step in respiration where inhalation and exhalation takes place alone. It is a simple physical biological process, whereas the respiration is a biochemical process which involves the oxidation of food with the release of energy. So that is about the respiration you have to keep in mind. Next, coming to the respiration in the frog, fish, we'll see in the different animals. Okay, now we have seen about the respiration in human beings. We'll see about the respiration in animals, fish. Okay, be ready. See here, children, now this is the picture of fish. You know it. The respiration in fish. How do the fish respire? What is the habitat of fish, children? You know that the habitat of fish is water. It is an aquatic animal, isn't it? Fish is an aquatic animal. You know it. So it takes the oxygen dissolved in the water. So how does it take? The respiratory organs of fish are gills. What are the respiratory organs of fish? Respiratory organs of fish are gills. There are red colored gills that are present at the dorsal side of the body of fish below the flaps. You will be seeing the fish continuously opening its mouth and closing its mouth, isn't it? So it is so to take in the oxygen that is dissolved in the water. So the oxygen that is the air, that is the oxygen that is dissolved in water, that first it takes the water through the mouth and the water moves from the flaps and moves through the gills, and from the gills the water, it takes the oxygen that is present in the water and distributes to the complete body and releases out of the flaps, the water out of the flaps. So this is how the fish respire inside the water. Is it clear, children? So here you see here the figure clearly. Fish, what is the respiratory organs of fish? Gills are the respiratory organs of fish. Where are the gills located? The gills are located below the flaps. They are located below the flaps at the dorsal side of the fish. You can see these flaps. Okay, at the mouth head region you can see the flaps. And these are the respiratory organs and the water that enters the mouth flows through both the gills as it comes out of the flaps, and the oxygen that is dissolved in the water is taken by the gills, and the gills distribute the oxygen to the complete body. So this is about the respiration in fish. Okay, next we'll move to the respiration in frog. Okay, hope you have understood about the respiration in fish. Okay, children. Here the picture is frog, you know it, isn't it? So if you see this picture, you can understand that already you know that it lives both on land and also in water. So how does it respire? What are the respiratory organs in frog? So to say this, we should know about the respiration process, how the process of respiration takes place in frog. So as it is an animal that it lives both in water and on land, it has the gills, lungs and also moist skin. So how does it uses its parts in respiration? Normally the frog uses the lungs when it is outside the water, that is on land. It respires with its lungs on land. When it is on land, it is an amphibian animal. You know that frog is an amphibian where it lives both in water and on land. So when it is on land, it respires with the help of lungs. When it is underground or under the soil, it respires with the help of its moist skin. Its moist skin helps it for the respiration. Okay, so normally the fish lives in water in tadpole stage. It is one of the stages in its life cycle. Egg, larva, that is develops into tadpole stage, isn't it? The fish-like stage in the life cycle of the frog is tadpole. It has head and tail. So in tadpole stage, it contains gills. With the help of gills, gills at tadpole stage only, it respires. Okay. So underground, so the gills are in water. In water, when it is in water, it respires through the gills. Once again, I will tell you, see here children. So you can easily understand lungs on land, moist skin underground, the organs of respiration. It respires through the moist skin when it is under the soil or underground. And in tadpole stage, especially the gills help them in tadpole stage. It lives only in water, so it respires with the help of gills in water. So you can say that frog respires in water with the help of gills in tadpole stage. It respires with the moist skin when it is underground, and it respires with the help of lungs when it is on land. So this is how frog takes the atmospheric oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide, as in the case of the human beings. So in the water, it takes the water, that is oxygen dissolved in the water released by the aquatic plants, and under the skin, that is under the ground, that is soil, with the help of its moist skin, it respires, so that it lives on under the soil also. So this is how the respiration takes place in the frog. Hope you have understood children. So you have to know about the tadpole stage, that is it contains the head and the tail, and in the tadpole stage the gills are the organs which helps for respiration in frog. Hope you have understood well children. Next we will move to the respiration in earthworm. Okay. Here children, the respiration in earthworm and respiration in cockroach will see. Respiration in earthworm. You know that earthworm lives in soil. Its body is completely moist condition, and it takes the air from the soil, that is through the holes that is present in complete body. through its moist skin. So its moist skin helps for the respiration in earthworm. So it takes the body is completely contains the pores. Okay, so these pores, through these pores it takes atmospheric oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide that is present on its moist skin. So it helps for the respiration in earthworm. And if you take upon the respiration in cockroach, that is insect, it is also takes in oxygen and gives out carbon dioxide. How does it take place? So in cockroach, the spiracles are the holes, respiratory organs mainly present in cockroach for the respiration. So what is this trachea? These are the respiratory tubes. These are the respiratory tubes that are present in the cockroach. So cockroach has small openings. These spiracles are called as the small openings on the either sides of the body of the cockroach. So on the underside of each segment, the body of cockroach is divided into several segments. See here children, these are the several segments in which the body of cockroach is being divided into. Underside of the several segments, there are tube-like structures present called as tracheal tubes. Okay, so the cockroach takes the atmospheric air through the spiracles, that is respiratory holes, that is present at the dorsal side of the cockroach. The network-like tubes called tracheal tubes from these spiracles. So these tracheal tubes are from the spiracles. They arise from the spiracles, and oxygen, that atmospheric oxygen from the spiracles pass through the respiratory tubes to whole body, and carbon dioxide that is in turn formed by the oxidation process is released out from the tracheal tubes and come out of the body through the spiracles. This is how the respiration in cockroach takes place. Okay children, so these are the tracheal tubes and these are the spiracles. These are the spiracles. They are the spiracles or the respiratory, that is the holes, that is small openings that is present on the sides of its body. They are spiracles, and the spiracles helps to breathe in. These holes which help the oxygen to breathe in by the cockroach are called as spiracles. So these oxygen enters through the spiracles into the body of cockroach, and the carbon dioxide is released through the tracheal tubes and comes out of the spiracles to outside. This is how respiration takes place in the cockroach. Once again I repeat, the network of the respiratory tubes in cockroach is called as tracheal tubes or trachea. The network of the respiratory tubes are trachea, and this trachea take in the oxygen from the spiracles. That is, atmospheric oxygen enters through the spiracles, pass through the tracheal tubes, and to the entire body it reaches. Okay children, so again the carbon dioxide comes out through the tracheal tubes, and from the spiracles it comes out of the body. So this is how respiration in cockroach takes place. In today's class we have completed respiration in frog, fish, earthworm and spiracles. Next class we will see about the respiration in plants. Once again I repeat it that we have completed